Springfield knows all too well natural and man-made disasters. Obviously, we went through a tumultuous year in 2011 and also in 2012, and it's because of emergency preparedness and the professional team that is assembled behind me, and many who are not here, who are on the streets, that we were able to make sure that each and every one of our residents that were affected received the proper information, care, supplies, and all the efforts that were needed. So I want to give them all a round of applause behind me. So before I turn it over to Helen Carlton Harris and Bob Hassan and others for a few words, we have an official proclamation. And whereas September 2016 is National Emergency Preparedness Month, and this year's theme is Don't Wait, Communicate, Make Your Emergency Plan Today. And as you can tell, we made a little adjustment in our setting too, so we're practicing that. And whereas the National Emergency Preparedness Month is the annual campaign to encourage residents to take steps to prepare in the case of natural or man-made disasters. And again, a big thank you out to our first responders, whether our brave and dedicated police officers, firefighters, ambulance response, DPW workers, you name it. Whereas Emergency Preparedness Month provides an opportunity to raise awareness of the important work being done to make sure our communities are safe, healthy, and ready for public health emergencies and/or disasters. As a sidelight, you have to remember when a lot of these disasters occurred, working with Helen, we had to open up shelter sites across the city, and especially major sites, whether it's a Mass Mutual Center or Central High School during the freak nor'easter of October pre-Halloween. And Helen did a great job with the whole team and with the setup man, Tony Petaway. And whereas emergencies can happen at any time, by taking just a few simple steps to prepare yourself, your family, and our community makes everyone more resilient and better able to respond to emergency events and situations. And whereas emergency preparedness is responsibility of each and every citizen in Springfield. Today, Tuesday, September 6, 2016, we join together to promote awareness of national emergency preparedness. And again, it's important that we do this as we have been recognized throughout the state and throughout the nation for how we handle man-made and natural disasters, even many a times going to conference to speak about how we did it, and also obtaining a national disaster recovery grant, the only city in the United States of America to receive that, unlike other regions, because of the way we handled it. So with that, therefore I, Dominic J. Sarno, Mayor of the City of Springfield, do hereby proclaim September 2016 as National Emergency Preparedness Month in the great city of Springfield, and I strongly encourage all our residents to be prepared and ready and to communicate. So God forbid, knock on wood, we go through this again, which hopefully we don't. We'll be prepared and we'll be able to handle it and make sure that everybody is okay. Stay safe and God bless. And with that, I'll turn it over to our Commissioner of Health and Human Services. Put your hands together for the eloquent and elegant Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Helen Carlton Harris.
Thank you for the proclamation, and thank you, Mayor, for your support. It has meant everything to us in public health to know that we have a mayor who is very in tune to the emergency preparedness needs of the city of Springfield, thereby allowing us to have in our department Mr. Petaway, who is the Public Health Emergency Response Coordinator for the Department of Health and Human Services. That could only happen because the mayor was really kind enough and generous enough and thought enough of the issue of emergency preparedness to make sure that that position was in the department. And so the theme, be informed to make sure that we have information, make a kit. Everyone should have a kit in their home, and making sure that they're involved in emergency preparedness and checking on your neighbor. I had an incident happen to me this morning. I was changing my smoke detector, and I live in my house alone, and I was changing the smoke detector and I fell off of the ladder. Now, while I was laying there bleeding, thinking to myself, what do I do now? Am I prepared? Have I taken the time to not only take care of myself, but to make sure that I had bandages in place, that I had people had my information. So when I say check on a neighbor, it's really important, if you don't see someone for a couple of days, that you make sure that you're checking in on them as well. September is Emergency Preparedness Month, and we take this time to celebrate all of our first responders, police, fire, as well as those who play a significant role in helping this Department of Health and Human Services to set up their dispensing sites. And so we are ready if in fact we need to do mass dispensing of injections for any reason. And we have partners like Square One that work very closely with us, and it is so much appreciated. So thank you all very much for being here, being here to celebrate what we believe is a very important month in the city. And so now I will turn it over to Mr. Hassett, who is the Director of Emergency Preparedness for the City of Springfield.
It's on his card, too. It says Mr. Emergency.
Thank you, Commissioner Mayor. So the citizens of Springfield have been tested by trial and tragedy since the earliest days of the city and town. But year after year, no matter the hardship, we pull through and forge ahead. 5 years after the tornado, winter storms, Hurricane Irene, and the 2012 gas explosion, we reflect on our strength as a city and a community when anything threatens us. As the residents of eastern Massachusetts are being impacted by Hurricane Hermine, we're reminded what Americans do in times like these. We see the power of caring and community among our neighbors who step up to help in extraordinary and difficult circumstances. Preparing ourselves to meet the unknown challenges of tomorrow is a duty that we all share. And when confronted with crisis or calamity, we need to have done everything possible to prepare. During National Preparedness Month, the Office of Emergency Preparedness wants to emphasize the importance of readying ourselves and our families to be resilient in the face of any emergency we may encounter. It's each citizen's responsibility to be as prepared as possible for emergencies, whether in the form of natural disasters like hurricanes and earthquakes, or unspeakable acts of evil like terrorism. Danger can arise at unexpected times and places. Fortunately, there are many things that individuals and families can do to improve their readiness and survival. I encourage all of Springfield to take proactive steps to prepare for any situation that may occur, including signing up for local alerts, checking insurance coverage, documenting your valuables, creating a plan for emergency family communications and evacuation, and having a fully stocked disaster supply kit at hand. I encourage those in the business community to prepare their employees, develop a business continuity plan, and engage in community-level planning to help ensure that the private sector in Springfield remains strong when faced with an emergency. Springfield continues to collaborate with the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency and regional partners like the Western Massachusetts Homeland Security Advisory Council, the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, along with those in the public and private sectors to ensure that neighborhoods in crisis do not have to face these dangers alone. In addition to coordinating relief efforts and providing rapid response, we have focused on supporting the needs of survivors, investing in Springfield neighborhoods, and helping them rebuild impacted communities to be better, stronger, and more resilient. Disasters have become more frequent and severe due to climate change. Urban areas are already feeling the devastating consequences, including drought, intense storms, more powerful hurricanes, and heat waves. Climate change poses an imminent and lasting threat to our safety, and it's critical that we invest now in our infrastructure and integrate the preparedness efforts to improve our ability to respond and recover from the effects of our changing climate and extreme weather events. Let's recognize that each of us can do our part to prepare for emergencies, help our neighbors affected in disasters, and ensure that all in Springfield have the necessary resources and knowledge to protect themselves. Together, we will remain strong and resilient no matter what befalls us. God bless Springfield.
Thank you, Bob. I'm going to have, this past Valentine's Day, you probably spent with your loved ones. Tony Pettaway and I spent it at Forest Park Middle School in Helen, opening up a shelter when the residents of Lower Forest Park had lost heat, low gas pressure at that point in time. So it's little things, might be a little thing to other people who have the heat, but it's things like that on a smaller scale, or the larger disasters, whether tornadoes or freak nor'easters, other things. But I cannot be more proud or prouder of Team Springfield. They have been through thick and thin and come through with flying colors. And with that, I'd like to get a few words from Joan Kagan, who's the Executive Director, President, CEO of Square One, and then maybe operations person Tony Pettaway will say a few words. So put your hands together for Joan Kagan.
Thank you very much. First, I do want to commend the city for their disaster recovery plans. I know that after the tornado, and I'm talking within 30 minutes of the tornado, we were alerted that we could go down to the Mass Mutual Center. We had 40 toddlers and preschoolers with us, as well as our teachers and social workers, and they ensured that we had a private room so that the children could be safe. We did not have to go, we were not in with the general public, because we had to ensure for the safety and care of our children until their parents could come. So I think it's that type of responsiveness that clearly makes a difference. So I do want to commend the staff here, thankfully, that they have done such a wonderful job. It is very important to be prepared for disasters, and that was certainly a lesson that we did learn from the tornado as well as from the gas explosion. The importance of having emergency numbers, organizations like Square One that are responsible for several hundred children every day, actually almost 1,000 children every day, that we are prepared, and we're prepared on all levels for any type of disaster, including rehearsing lockdowns with the police department in the event that there is terrorism does befall us. So both personally as well as professionally, it behooves all of us to be prepared for disasters that do come without warning. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share a little bit of our experience. And again, want to end by commending the staff here at City Hall for their wonderful work that they have done in ensuring that Springfield is a safe community. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan, very much. And to another high school of commerce Raider, let's put your hands together for Tony Pettaway's platoon. Come on up, Tony.
We have a partnership with the state, and it's a very simple and very comprehensive one and the same. Know, plan, and prepare. For you with us, we have a calendar that is in your hand. There are a number of events that are happening in and around the area, some things that are happening within our city departments. We encourage all the citizens to log on to SpringfieldCityHall.com for more detailed information. I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Tony. If you have any questions or comments, we appreciate you getting the word out. Thank you very much.
I
I need to commend Halima.
Halima, yes.
Yes, she's our go-to person when we need things done in the department. She's always there to help set up the shelter.
Misregistration, right there. You remember Valentine's Day night, it was like 14, 15 below during the day. And I had my Bruins cap on for Cousin Frankie Vitrano. We were all there, and she's the nuts and bolts to make sure, Halima, on that. So, thank you.